This experiment will show you how they brought blood cells back to life using just sounds. I'm telling you, this is very real. Moreover, you'll see how, after putting sand on a sarcophagus, hieroglyphs started to appear as if they have their own frequency. What you're about to witness is so powerful, you'll want to start incorporating it into your life immediately. Keep watching all the way through. This video is loaded with mind-blowing experiments that are sure to astonish you. Let's begin.
My name is John Stuart Reid, and I'm an acoustic physics researcher. Pythagoras said that music could be used in place of medicine. It got my attention, and I thought there must be some experiments that could be conducted where we can carefully measure the response of music to some sort of healing situation. The first experiment that I conceived of was using blood. You take a vial of blood and you place it into an incubator with a small loudspeaker in the incubator that's feeding music to that blood. At the same time that that's happening, we have another vial of the same blood. We have a Faraday cage, which is electromagnetically screened, but it's also a very, very quiet environment. So that blood is not receiving any music, it's just receiving quiet. We go through a protocol that first dilutes the blood by a certain ratio with a buffer solution, and then we extract a small amount of that mixed blood. When we put that blood into the cell counter, it will tell us how many cells are actually live and what the term is viable. The cells in the Faraday cage have not fared very well at all. Mostly dead.
But if the cells are dead, that means that the cells from the tube that got exposed to my voice, they'll be dead too. I mean, it's the same blood.
I hope you can see this. Dilute the sample. More cells alive than the cell counter can count. That's a huge difference between the music and the quiet.
Is that true?
Well, look.
But this is amazing.
So I think we should repeat and see if we get the same result. Above the range that it can count, cells that are transiting towards being dead have been actually re-enlivened to the extent that so many of them are now alive. It's really wonderful. An amazing result.
Wow, what we've just seen is absolutely amazing. It's like a real-life example of what's said in the Bible. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. Proverbs 18:21. The experiment we saw proves this in a big way. It was Anders Holte, known for his unique, kind of otherworldly music, whose voice re-enlivened the cells. That's mind-blowing. Of course, the point of this experiment is to showcase the power of harmonious sounds. It's not just about Anders Holte's unique ability, it's a bigger picture about good frequencies and their importance. This experiment helps us understand how vital these harmonious frequencies are. And it's not just any sound that has the power to re-enliven cells, but those that are in harmony, in tune with nature, and beneficial to our well-being. Credit for this goes to Dr. John Stuart Reid and the documentary The One Field, a film by Sippy Raz. Without this film, we might never have known about this incredible experiment. I really encourage you to watch the entire film because it's an eye-opener. You'll find links in the description. Think about it, if Anders Holte's voice, along with such beautiful and harmonious sounds, can wake up cells that were almost dead, it really makes you wonder about the music we listen to every day. Some of it is deliberately off-tune or tuned to harmful frequencies. Now, let's take a look at another one of Dr. John Stuart Reid's incredible discoveries. this time from his work in the pyramids of Egypt. Imagine this: Dr. Reid, in a setting as ancient and mysterious as the pyramids, places sand on a sarcophagus. As he conducts his experiment with sound vibrations, something absolutely phenomenal happens. Hieroglyphs begin to emerge. It's as if the sand, dancing to the tune of the vibrations, starts to unveil secrets that have been hidden for thousands of years.
It all started back at the Great Pyramid in 1997. 3 weeks before I was due to go out to Egypt, I severely injured my lower back. I thought I would have to cancel the whole mission, but somehow I managed to get into the pyramid. Other people carried the equipment. The experiment that was designed was to make visible the resonances in the sarcophagus. I set up the experiment, then I stretched PVC membrane across the open top of the sarcophagus. Then I sprinkled sand on the membrane, and when we switched on the sound, this is just pure tones, electronically created tones. A whole range of ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs started to appear in the sand. First one was the hieroglyph for backbone or spinal column. It was writhing about like a snake. Antiquities inspector, he was like, "How you do that? How you do that?" We saw lots and lots of different hieroglyphs coming out on this membrane. But what was so extraordinary was within 20 minutes of making sound, all the pain in my back left me and I never did come back. It's an extraordinary moment in my life that changed my life forever.
The remarkable healing Dr. John Stuart Reid experienced in the Great Pyramid strongly underscores the therapeutic potential of sound. His sudden relief from chronic back pain serves as a compelling testament to how sound frequencies can directly and significantly impact our physical health. This breakthrough opens thrilling new research possibilities in sound therapy and holistic healing, suggesting that sound is not just an abstract concept, but a practical tool for addressing physical health issues. This leads us to revisit the role of sound in ancient architecture. The Great Pyramid, renowned for its precision in both architecture and astronomy, may also have been intentionally designed with an intricate understanding of acoustics. Could it be that this iconic structure was more than a tomb or monument? Perhaps it served as an advanced resonant chamber for healing purposes, or other functions that we're yet to fully comprehend. The emergence of hieroglyphs in response to sound vibrations in Dr. Reid's experiment hints that the ancient Egyptians might have encoded a sophisticated understanding of sound's effects in their writing and architecture. This revelation could radically transform our understanding of ancient civilizations, suggesting they had a profound grasp of the physical and metaphysical aspects of sound. But if music and sound hold such power that they can reanimate blood cells, as seen in the previous experiment, or heal Dr. Reid's back permanently, it raises a critical question. What effect does the music we listen to, the music that's promoted everywhere, have on us? We've all seen how music can have darker, even demonic aspects. If sound can influence cells in our brain, particularly our subconscious, then the impact of our daily sonic environment becomes a matter of significant importance. Here's a clip of Michael Jackson discussing the hypnotic power of music, underscoring how deeply and subtly it can affect us.
Singers, when they sing songs, it's like a mantra. When you repeat a chorus over and over and over. So when a kid hears a song and he starts singing that chorus over and over and over, then you start to hear it in the alpha state to the subconscious mind. So you start to become the song or become what you're saying.
In the Bible, it speaks that there's life and death and power in the tongue. Be careful what you say. Be careful what you say. Be careful with the things you consistently talk about, because you're inviting that energy and vibration into your life.
After hearing Michael Jackson talk about how music can transform our subconscious, much like a mantra, and Tyrese Gibson referencing the biblical verse, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue," we're led to a crucial aspect of music: its tuning. It's widely discussed that the standard tuning frequency for music has been shifted from its original tone, a change attributed to decisions made by entities like the Rockefeller Foundation. This shift in frequency may seem minor, but its implications are profound. Music is more than just melodies and rhythms. It's a constant stream of lyrics and vibrations that we absorb, often without fully realizing their impact. As Michael Jackson pointed out, these lyrics can become our subconscious mantras, shaping our thoughts and beliefs in subtle yet powerful ways. The frequency at which music is played, now commonly at 440 Hz, a shift from the traditional 432 Hz, is another layer to this. This alteration in frequency can have a significant impact on how we perceive and are affected by music. We're essentially facing a double challenge: lyrics that can unconsciously influence our mindset, and frequencies that might be affecting our well-being at a cellular level. This realization calls for a more conscious approach to the music we choose to listen to. Instead of passively consuming mainstream music, which may be crafted to be addictive or carry certain subliminal messages, we can opt for alternatives. Indie music, or any genre that maintains the integrity of sound and lyrical positivity, can be a healthier choice. By selecting music tuned to more harmonious frequencies, such as the original 432 Hz, we can foster positive emotions like love, hope, forgiveness, and optimism. This isn't just about musical preference. It's about making choices that nourish our minds and bodies, creating an environment that supports our overall well-being. But you don't have to just believe me. The proof is in the experiments we've seen, and if that's not enough, the real-time visualization of words and sounds offers even more compelling evidence. For a more in-depth look, let's turn to Dr. John Stuart Reid and his fascinating work. His presentation, coupled with the CymaScope invention, provides an extraordinary glimpse into the world of sound visualization.
Seeing the hieroglyphs, that really inspired me. I wanted to develop an instrument that would make sound visible. Ultimately, I developed the CymaScope instrument, which uses a very small volume of water that is exquisitely sensitive to vibration. When any beautiful sound enters into the water, what I see every day is a beautiful image. Beauty begets beauty. We are 90% water. Think about the membranes around every cell in our bodies receiving a beautiful pattern, a harmonious pattern. Those cells are all going to be beautifully massaged and feeling, wow, we are being supported here. And there's a very clear change when you compare a healthy cell sound with a cancer cell sound, which produces ugly pattern.
In his work, Dr. Reid emphasizes how the CymaScope, using water's exquisite sensitivity to vibration, reveals the beautiful, intricate patterns created by sound. This is significant considering that our bodies are composed of a high percentage of water, around 60% in adults. This high water content makes us naturally receptive to sound vibrations, much like the water in the CymaScope. When beautiful, harmonious sounds enter our bodies, they can create positive, supportive vibrations at a cellular level. It's a form of sonic massage, a nurturing and harmonious influence on our cells. On the flip side, this also means that we are potentially vulnerable to the effects of negative frequencies. Imagine the impact of constant exposure to discordant, jarring sounds or music tuned to frequencies that are not naturally harmonious. These could potentially lead to a state of disharmony in our bodies, contributing to stress or even illness. This concern isn't just hypothetical, it's grounded in the reality of how sound interacts with our fundamentally water-based bodies. The concept of resonance is key here. Just as a particular frequency can cause a glass to resonate and shatter, certain sound frequencies, particularly those that are disharmonious or unnatural, can resonate in our bodies in potentially harmful ways. The music industry, often focused on what's commercially viable rather than what's holistically beneficial, can sometimes promote music that is out of tune with these natural, harmonious frequencies. Therefore, it's crucial to be discerning about the music and sounds we allow into our lives. Just as we care about the food we eat and the air we breathe, we should also be conscious of the sonic environments we inhabit. Choosing music and sounds that resonate with natural, harmonious frequencies can be a form of self-care, an act of nurturing our physical and mental well-being. In continuation of this exploration into the profound impact of sound and frequencies on our well-being, there's another intriguing perspective worth considering. This comes from Dr. Leonard Horowitz, a man with insightful views on the nature of sound and its effects. He discusses a concept known as the devil's interval, a specific frequency that he suggests can have adverse effects on our health.
Is called the devil's interval in musicology. That when you play 7/4/1 with 5/2/8, it creates such an annoying and dissonant energy, diseasing, stressful, that if you continue to listen to it, you could die. They have held the secret knowledge by which the pyramids were constructed based on the math. All of the universe is constructed according to these 9 tones. They knew about them. In fact, they instituted. In fact, it was the Rockefeller Foundation in 1939 that instituted the world's standard tuning. The Western world tunes to a 440 hertz frequency. That when you tune your instrument to that, the F sharp note is 7/4/1, precisely. Not 7.41.1 or 0.2, it's 7/4/1, which meant that there was a clear, scientifically researched intent, and indeed that's exactly what happened. The 7/4/1 A440 link came out of military research in the 1930s to induce psychosocial stress and dis-ease to the max. It was selected that A440 would be the standard tuning for the Western world. In fact, quote, mass hysteria, end quote, could be induced by instituting that frequency. And now you begin to explain why you went from the era of Frank Sinatra, where women would mostly swoon over Frank. Suddenly, Elvis Presley, rioting began. It was scientifically determined for military acoustic warfare research that if you simply used A440 standard tuning, that you could engage about 6% of the population, perhaps, to actually go into this kind of crisis, into this hysteria. And that those people then, especially if they were televised and they were promoted and broadcast, could potentially affect a social, virtually British invasion. Now you begin to reconcile what happened. This information is all in the book of 528.
As we reflect on the journey through these experiments and discussions, we come to a profound realization about the power of sound and words. Starting with Dr. John Stuart Reid's revealing experiments with blood cells, where music was shown to rejuvenate cells that were in a dormant state, we begin to see the tangible impact of sound. Following this, his work on the visual emergence of hieroglyphs in Egypt further illustrates how sound can interact with physical matter in extraordinary ways. The wisdom shared by Michael Jackson and Tyrese Gibson adds a deeper, more personal dimension to our understanding, highlighting how sound and words shape our perceptions and experiences. Dr. Reid's groundbreaking work with the cymoscope, making sound visible, bridges the gap between the seen and unseen, providing a stunning visual representation of sound's influence. Lastly, the insights of Dr. Leonard Horowitz about the devil's interval and the potential negative impacts of certain frequencies round out our exploration. Together, these discoveries and insights resonate deeply with the biblical proverb, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue," found in Proverbs 18:21. This ancient wisdom is echoed in the scientific revelations we've explored, showcasing the incredible power of sound and words that we all possess. You might walk away from this video thinking it's just interesting or informing. However, I urge you to recognize these experiments and discussions as demonstrations of the power within each of us. They are not merely scientific curiosities. They are calls to action, invitations to use our innate abilities for positive change. Let's start using this power, as the Bible suggests. Use your words to create hope, to light up someone's day, to compliment and uplift those around you, and mean it from the heart. Your words have the power to shape reality, to spread love and positivity in a world that often seems overshadowed by negativity. Be mindful of the music you listen to and the sounds you surround yourself with. We've seen how the frequencies of music can impact us on a cellular level. Choose soundscapes that are harmonious, that feed your soul with good vibrations, and steer clear of those that could be subtly influencing you in harmful ways. Remember, you're all under a sort of hypnosis. the constant bombardment of sounds and messages that shape our subconscious. Break free from this trance by consciously choosing what you allow into your mental and emotional space. Fill your life with sounds and words that resonate with love, hope, and positivity. By understanding and harnessing the power of sound and words, we can take better care of ourselves and others. We have the power to create a ripple effect of positivity, to make a real difference in our lives and in the lives of those around us. So let's embrace this power. Let's use it wisely, and let's start now. Spread love, spread light, and let the harmonious frequencies guide you towards a life filled with positivity and well-being.